You know, historically speaking, the welfare of humanity has always been the alibi of tyrants. And they want to save people by preventing them from thinking critically. Welcome back to the High Impact Flicks channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe and bell notification icon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Let's roll the intro. People ask me all the time, "Hey Brian, do you really use that keto elevate stuff and does it really work?" The answer is yes and yes. Never in my entire life have I lost body fat so quickly. Not even in my prime at 25, which is over 25 years ago. I'm approaching 54 this year. If you want to support the channel and do your health a favor, grab some with my link in the description. Okay, you should feel safer today because Robert W. Malone, that's Dr. Robert W. Malone, MD, who many widely proclaim is the father of mRNA technology, was suspended from Twitter today. Don't you feel safer? Trust the science. The science cannot be wrong. Any science that says you have to wait 55 years for us to come out with our clinical studies, that's a science that can be trusted. I want to go over this AP article. This right here is just, I don't even know what to say about this. I'm at a loss for words. It's egregious. Twitter has suspended the account of Dr. Robert Malone. That's called censorship. That's called cutting out a man's tongue. And not just cutting out a man's tongue, but cutting off the ears of everyone who wants to hear that man. They want to hear what this guy says. They want to weigh it in the body of evidence that they're presented. The last thing you want in a free society, well, actually, you won't ever have this in a free society. Censorship does not exist in a free society. So if you find a society where censorship does exist, then you're looking at a society that's enslaved. When you cut a man's tongue out, you're not proving to everybody that he's a liar. You're simply demonstrating that you fear what this man has to say. And obviously, your argument doesn't hold water because you had to get rid of him. And history teaches us time and time again that if you burn books today, those who do burn books today will be burning bodies tomorrow. This came out from the Associated Press yesterday. They had an interview with CDC's chief, Walensky. The chief of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 40 people, oh my God, 40 people in a country of 330 million people have been found to be infected with the moronic so far. And check this out. I can't even believe they admit this. More, not 3/4, but more than 3/4 of them had bowed down at the altar of Jabbo. Think about that for a second. More than 30 of the 40 who have been infected with moronic bowed down at the altar of Jabbo. You can make it up, but why would you have to? I mean, my head hurts. It's spinning just thinking about this. It says more than 40 people in the U.S. have been found to be infected with the moronic so far, and more than 3/4 of them had been genuflecting at the altar of Jabbo. The chief of the CDC said Wednesday, but she said nearly all of them were only mildly ill. Let me just ask a question right here. Would they have gotten ill at all if they hadn't genuflected and bowed down at the altar of Jabbo? Hey, honey, you said we need to go down and bow down at the altar of Jabbo. Well, I'm reading this article right here, and it's like, if I bow down at the altar of Jabbo, I'm more likely to get the moronic. In an interview with the Associated Press, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of you-know-where, said the data is very limited and the agency is working on a more detailed analysis of what the new mutant form of the cerveza bug might hold for the United States. Guys, if you plug in 40 divided by the 40 that were infected with the moronic, divided by 330 million and multiply it times 100, you get 0.0000145%. Even if it's true that there's a moronic, even if it's true that it's out there wreaking havoc on the lung tissue of human beings. 0.0000145%. But, oh my God, we have to have this incessant propaganda campaign telling people that you need the first stab wound, the second stab wound, the third stab wound. You know what the VA-XXers and the anti-VA-XXers have in common? They will never be fully stab wounded. Ever. This is a perpetual thing. They want to keep this going forever. Quote, what we generally know is the more mutations a variant has, the higher level you need your immunity to be. We want to make sure we bolster with a booster, everybody's immunity. Not just some people, not just 75% of them, not just 85% of them. Everybody has to have their immunity bolstered. What's the incentive in that? Where's the sense in that? If over 3/4 of the people who got the stab wound actually came down with the thing that they got the stab wound to keep from getting, fell ill with it, even though it's just mild, where's the incentive to stand in line? Not only that, we're going to find out later in this article that 1/3 of those had their boostas. What's going on? What's going on here? And that's really what motivated the decision to expand our guidance. She says, quote, the disease is mild in almost all of the cases seen so far with reported symptoms, mainly cough, congestion, and fatigue. One person was hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported. How do we know? Again, this is just a question, but how do we know that they would have got sick if they didn't bow down and genuflect at the altar of the big farm guy? Some cases can become increasingly severe as days and weeks pass, and Walensky noted that the data is very early. First glimpse of the U.S. moronic infections. The earliest onset of symptoms of any of the first 40 or so cases was November 15th, according to the Cat Corporation. The moronic variant was first identified, you know where. The first U.S. case was reported on December 1st. Now here we are at December 29th. They did this article on the 28th. As of Wednesday afternoon, the Cat had recorded 43 cases in 19 states. 43 cases out of 330 million people. Oh my God. What are we going to do? Most were young adults. About 1/3 of those had traveled internationally. More than 3/4 of those patients has been VA-XX'd, and 1/3 had boostas. So 3/4 of them had been fully VA-XX'd, and 1/3 of those were boosted. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. This is crazy, crazy, on your head, inside out world, upside down world. They actually admit it's only 40, and of those 40, over 30 of them had already bowed down at the altar of Jabbo, but they only got mild symptoms. And of those 40, 1/3 had been boosted. So they got the first, the second, and third. But it's only mild symptoms. Don't worry about it. It makes you wonder. It really does. It makes you wonder if there was such a thing as the moronic, how it's actually being spread. Leave your thoughts about this. Oh, and you know what the coup de grace here is? Over here on the right side of this ABC News article where they were actually talking about the AP interview, it says, the Convids 1984 by George Orwell live updates. W.H.O concerned moronic and Delta faucets leading to tsunami of cases. Would you call 40 out of 330 million people anywhere near a tsunami? I wouldn't even call it a light breeze. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and my backup channel, Here's the Deal, and Grease Monkey videos. You'll see different content on there. Also, check out my links in the description, and subscribe to me or follow me over on Rockfin, BitChute, and Odyssey. I'll see you guys in the next video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.